Hey folks, so obviously you saw the thumbnail or you read the title of the video or you're friends with me on social media, so you are aware of what happened during this trip. Spoiler alert, but yeah, the video's gonna start off like any other Junkyard Fox video. We're out of nature, we're doing skills and practicing and all this good stuff. And I decided to start it off that way because I was filming that day and I was having a great time before all this mess happened. So hopefully you enjoy that. Then of course it's gonna lead into all the events that happened. And then once the video's over, I'm gonna, just come back and talk to you guys a little bit about it. So hopefully you enjoy it. Hey, what's up everyone? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me. And I am out here in beautiful West Texas, my usual stomping grounds, because I'm going to be spending the night in my primitive shelter. So for those of you who are not caught up, a couple months back, I want to say about 2 months ago, possibly 3 months ago, I filmed a video where I made a primitive shelter solely out of desert materials like yucca stalks, creosote, rocks, dead grass, so on and so forth. And I'm very proud of that video. I'm very proud of that shelter. It is probably my favorite video of 2021. Now, about a week later after making that video, I came to stay out here and to mix results because it was a very spur of the moment thing and I wasn't very organized. And though I managed to successfully stay the night here and all that stuff, but I could have done things better because I was freezing. Now, once again, that was 3 months ago. It was like late February, so of course it was still colder. It's much warmer now, but yeah, I just you live and you learn. So I'm back out here and I'm gonna show you guys how my shelter's looking so far, and we're gonna be making camp. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started. Okay folks, so here is my camp. As you can tell, there's been a lot of winds. That's something a lot of people don't realize, but out in the open desert, I mean, we get some 30-mile-an-hour winds sometimes. And of course, the shelter is going to need to constantly be updated and, renovated, right? Like any home. Yeah, luckily, at first when I got here, I was sweating buckets. But look, check it out. It's starting to get nice and gloomy. So we may see a little bit of rain later. That'd be nice. But yeah, so as you can tell, the winds have come. They've knocked this side off, so I need to work on that. If you guys remember, I had a Motley Crue poster that I put here when I stayed here last time, and I can see it over there. And I can actually see a lizard. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right behind the Motley Crue poster, there's like a little lizard just hanging out. That's really cool. So that goes to show what I was mentioning back then in those videos is whenever you stay at a primitive shelter and you have natural bedding like this, be very careful because critters are gonna, you're not the only creature trying to take shelter, These animals, snakes, lizards, tarantulas, scorpions, they're all trying to cool off. Coyotes, bunnies, so this is a nice shelter for them, nice and comfortable, so you gotta be careful. So before I decide to lay in there, I'm gonna have to clean all that out and replace it with brand new grass. On my way over here, I did pick up 2 bags worth of grass, of dead grass. So that's going to be my new bedding. So I'm replacing the old bedding, putting it on the roof, and then, I'm going to have a nice fresh bed. Yeah. The boys are all right. Okay, so about 15 minutes later, I'd say we're pretty good. So it doesn't take that long to just put the thatching, kind of like weave it in there, kind of tangle it, and then put these sticks on top for weight. Now, is this going to be 100% foolproof from the elements? No, of course not. But it's going to be strong enough to keep the sun out of your face when you're trying to rest in the daytime, keep the winds out of you when you're trying to sleep, so you're not that cold. Now, it's not going to be waterproof. And I did see lightning coming from this direction earlier. And in fact, I'm actually starting to feel raindrops. See that? So yeah, so we're going to be getting a little bit of rain. Now, that's just part of it. In my opinion, that's part of, testing yourself as an outdoorsman, as a prepper, as a bushcrafter, whatever you want to call it. It's not always going to be sunshine and fat steaks. You got to rough it out and you got to get uncomfortable. So If you guys remember last time that I stayed here, the winds were just really strong, 30-mile-an-hour winds coming into the shelter, so I was cold. This time it looks like I may get soaked, so luckily I do have a poncho in my haversack in case it gets crazy, but yeah, that's part of it. So the roof is good to go. Now I gotta take this apart and kind of make this better, because this is terrible, and once again, there could be some creepy crawlers on there. By the way, I'm not boring you with all this work, but whenever I'm doing all this stuff, because there may be scorpions or something like that, I do have my my work gloves here. And in case you're wondering what's in this box, I did have just yucca seed pods when we were building the shelter, because they are a great tinder source. Some storm clouds all around me. Well, here comes the storm. The winds are really strong. I can feel some raindrops, so yeah, it's only a matter of time. Luckily, I did finish my shelter. Once again, not the greatest, but I got the bedding in there. I managed to make the door somewhat improved over earlier, and the thatching is done, so worst comes to worst, I'll just hunker down in there. Well, the winds have passed, the rain has passed, there's slight drizzle, but nothing too serious. I should have known than to, get excited about desert rain. But then we got this beautiful sunset behind me. And it's really nice and relaxing now. So now that the winds have passed, I'm going to try to make a fire and then just cook up my ramen really quick. Just get something hearty to eat before bedtime. I didn't bring any beer or anything this time. I'm trying to stay on task. That was one of the problems last time. I didn't really plan, and then I brought some beers, and I think that really just derailed me from staying concentrated on being prepared and stuff like that. So there's a time to enjoy yourself camping and have some brews around the campfire, and there's a time to focus on skills and staying alert and all that stuff. So that I kind of blurred those lines last time, and I'm not going to make that mistake this time. So now I'm going to go ahead and gather some tinder and get that fire started for dinner. But look at that. In my little shelter. All right, guys, so dinner has been consumed. That ramen was delicious, by the way. That's a good reminder of my old school days when I was just a rookie doing this stuff. I didn't know how to cook, right? So all I knew was like ramen, hot cocoa, stuff like that. Of course, since then I've learned how to, if I had to brag a little bit, I'm actually pretty good at cooking. So I'm something of a chef now. But back then when I was in my humble beginnings, ramen was my go-to meal. And I mean, cooking food over a fire just makes it way more delicious. So I just ate. Now it's time to relax. Look at this beautiful sunset. Lighting's getting bad now. Yeah, but yeah, it's so beautiful. So I'm gonna enjoy the fire a little bit. I did make a fire. I don't need a fire, to be honest, but it just helps a little bit with illumination and relaxation. And yeah. That's about it. I mean, other than that, there's really not much to do. So, I apologize for long stretches of no content, no footage. But I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm just sitting down in the sand, just admiring the stars and the clouds. I didn't bring any beer or anything like that, so I'm just relaxing. I already ate dinner. So, yeah, just unwinding. And I apologize if it's a little anticlimactic, but I mean, sometimes these things you just got to be here to experience. I'm not even bored. I'm having a good time just unwinding. Okay, folks, so it's time to call it a night. Like I said, today, I'm not really hanging out in terms of, having some beers around the fire or nothing like that. It's more of a test of, being out here and stuff. And I foresee today being nicer anyway, an easier night, because forecast looks like the night's going to drop to the, early 60s, late 50s at most. So it's really nothing too bad. In case of anything, I do have my jacket here. And then I do also have my shamog down here, and I apologize for the crappy lighting. So in case of anything, I could just wrap that around my face or whatever. And that's about it. So in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll make some coffee. And that's about it for me. So have a good night, everyone. Okay, folks, so change of plans. I was asleep for 2 hours. Then I woke up to a truck driving nearby, and they shot my truck. They legitimately shot the windows on my truck. People I don't know. This is crazy. Look, these are my windows. This is insane. Once again, I have no clue who these people are. They're just drunks. I could hear the loud music. That's what woke me up. And sure enough, so I'm guessing this trip is over. Oh man, what a mess. So my evening turned out to be very different from what I was expecting, as you can imagine. I drove home. I did stop on the way back. I did stop to speak to Horizon Police Department. Unfortunately, I did not have a description of the vehicle. I mean, keep in mind, guys, I'm half asleep. It was like the only light was moonlight at the time. So they took off by the time I got to my vehicle. But man, I cannot believe it. I don't even know these people, you know? I'm not involved in any gang activity or anything like that, so what a mess, man. Boy, that's a bummer. So here's my windows. Here's my truck right now. Man, that sucks. Just completely random. I don't know these people. I'm just sleeping in my little shelter, minding my own business, and look at that. And I didn't even get to bring down all this stuff that was meant for the Arizona trip that we didn't get to really do. Now all this glass is on our wool blankets, our sleeping bags. Man, that sucks. Just completely random, just drunken douchebags. I mean, I suppose I should be grateful they didn't shoot the tires or the engine. And we have 3 good windows here, because I know this thing's going to cost me a pretty penny. Man, I'm going to need a beer after this one. Well, that was an unforeseen turn of events. Excuse me. Man, and that's it's a good reminder. It's a good reminder, people that don't know about the wilderness, and they see me making a shelter out there and staying out there, for several days, they always ask me, you're not scared of rattlesnakes, you're not scared of mountain lions or wild pigs or any of that stuff. And honestly, I've never had an issue where, these animals were a threat. Coyotes, nothing like that. It's always people. It's always douchebag people just ruining it for everybody else. Particularly El Paso, Texas gun guys. I've said it for many years. They're just such, they're drunks. They go out there shooting. I mean, the whole day that I was out there, you could hear gunshots in the background. You can hear music, and they're just getting drunk and shooting guns. And they do stupid crap like this. Like I said, I'm not involved with any, gang stuff, nothing. It wasn't, they're sourcing me out. They're targeting me in particular. It was just a truck that was by the side of the road when they were coming back. And, hey, you know what? They just saw it as a good prank, I guess. Suppose there's I should be grateful. At least they didn't shoot at me, or I was not in the vehicle when it happened. So, there's always that. But man, bunch of crappy, shitty people. I'm just out there trying to stay in my shelter, not bothering anyone, eating ramen. And, yeah. So, that's terrible. But, I mean, I guess, I'll be honest, I've had great luck for like a year. So it was only a matter of time before the scales went the other way. And my truck has had some terrible juju this last month. I mean, a month ago, I needed $600 worth of repairs. Now that's normal. I'm always out in dirt roads and in mountains and stuff. So that's to be expected. But then last Sunday, 4 days ago, somebody tried to break in and steal my truck, like right outside my house. Even my neighbor who has surveillance cameras, we caught the person on footage. We didn't catch him at the time. I didn't realize till later that someone was trying to steal it. But I mean, to that, and then now once again, it was just a random act. How crappy. Well. Once again, I guess the important part is that I'm in one piece. I'm fine. But, just a good reminder. People are garbage, and, there are bigger things than broken windows. There are bigger things to worry about than, something. Yeah, is it going to be costly? Yeah, but you know what? Better than me, getting shot at, or me being, hospital bills, or even worse, I was to get killed because I had my pistol. When I heard a vehicle get close to my vehicle, I got my pistol, my Ruger Mark III. Now that gun, a 22, some people would laugh, that's not, enough for self-defense. But I mean, I could hear there was multiple people in the vehicle, probably multiple weapons. So even if I had, a Desert Eagle or whatever, I wouldn't have won that battle. But it's a good thing to, stay prepared. So that sucks. Anyway, once again, at least I'm okay. Not that I'm worth much, but at least, who's going to take care of my cats when I'm gone, Anyway, guys, that's about it. I'm going to end it here. I got to start looking for window repairs, a place nearby and, all that stuff. So y'all have a good night. Stay safe because we live in a crazy world. Okay, folks, so it's been 2 days since the incident happened, and I debated whether to even make this video or not. Would it be viewed in bad taste and so on? I decided to go ahead and just make the video because prior to the incident, I was having a wonderful time out there. I was having a great day. I firmly believe it's a good video showing good skills and nature and scenery and all that stuff that's, what you guys are here to watch. So I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to, I released the video, and I hope you guys like it because like I said, I was having a great time out there. And, yeah, so the night I got home after that situation happened, man, I just destroyed all the beer that was in the fridge, and then I slept the rest of the day. I didn't want to deal with phone calls. I didn't want to deal with, cleaning the truck. I just wanted to sleep and just forget about the world for a little bit. Now it's the following day after that, and well, we got to face the music, right? So I'm making phone calls, I'm getting estimates, this and that. It looks like next week I'm gonna take it in to get fixed. It's gonna cost me about $800, guys. Now, I'm not broke by any means, but I did have a lot of expenses last month that I did not foresee. As I mentioned earlier, I did spend about $600 in truck repairs last month. And then I took a trip to Arizona, and that was stupid of me. We had planned this Arizona camping trip, and last minute there was a change in plans, and I decided to head out there anyway and improvise, and it just made a dent in my wallet, with gas and staying at hotels because we couldn't even camp. So that was a disaster. Yeah, I mean, these things take money, guys, and I'm fortunate that I do have a day job during Fridays and Saturdays. Chances are I'm going to have to just pick up shifts and work because it costs money, guys. And it costs money to film. It's time, money, gasoline to go film, come back, and then edit and all that stuff. So there's a good chance you might not see Junkyard Fox videos for a while. I do have one on queue. It's a catch and cook that I'll be posting after this video. But after that, I don't know. I'm still going to try to do my best, get it fixed, and kind of get back to schedule as soon as possible. But, I mean, I'm not rich by any means, so I'm going to have to probably work to make up for those $800, the unforeseen $800 in repairs. I do have a deer hunt planned for June in Central Texas. There's a good chance that will be canceled because that was a big, that's $600 something just for the hunt, not including gas and gross food and all that stuff. So that's just the reality of the world. I will post my PayPal link down below if you are so inclined to throw in a couple bucks. I'm not expecting you guys to pay for all the damages or anything like that, but if I can get a couple bucks knocked off from what I already have to pay, I would be so appreciative of that. You don't have to. I appreciate all support, whether just watching videos, sharing the videos, if you're buying merch, whatever the case, because this is this is going to be a more of a financial hit than anything. But I'm trying to fix it as soon as I can and kind of just get back to routine, guys. And sadly, this is a reminder of how crappy people can be, how crappy the world can be. But I'm not going to let that dissuade me from still getting out there in nature and camping on my own and, making the best of it. So once again, guys, my PayPal link is down below. If you are so inclined to throw in a couple bucks, I would be so very grateful for that, guys. And hope you're all safe out there, guys. So thank you for watching. I appreciate all the love.